definitely.
Um, okay, so let me introduce myself first.
Hmm.
So I'm Deco. I'm 29. I'm from Israel. Um,
Cool.
I had uh, a few businesses. One of them was making about 500K in revenue a year,
Nice.
but I had to close it due to changes in legality.
Mm.
And, and another, I had a different business that was also generating about 150K a year, but also uh, some other regulations caused me to close that one.
Yeah, who doesn't love a good bit of government interference in what
Yeah,
they're doing?
that's awesome. And also, I'm part of a few startups and working my way with different business.
Very
Um,
cool. Yeah, the
that's about
entrepreneurial.
yeah.
Got the
That's always
entrepreneurial bug, just like me. Yeah.
exactly. So first of all, let's. Can you tell about yourself first, so we can?
Sure. So my name is Christian,
Yeah.
and my business is an SAT and ACT tutoring. So that's a college entrance exam that the high schoolers in America take. It's somewhat of the international students even will take it, but mostly it's centered in the U.S.
Yeah.
My business at our best year, we've done around 160K, and we've been in town for 7 years now. My
Okay.
story has been kind of one of not starting as an entrepreneur, not thinking of myself as an entrepreneur. I was a musician in college, and in fact, I still do a lot of music. It's surrounding
Yeah,
me
I
right
can
now.
see. I
But
can see that around
this,
you.
this is my home office where I do a lot of my emails and my business work, but I also get back and play some music and stuff. Anyway, so yeah, we had a lot of growth at the beginning because I guess I just threw everything at the wall and was growing from word of mouth, and my town had enough room to
Yeah.
sustain us to grow a little more. But after maybe around year 4, year 5, a couple things started happening that slowed us down, and they were
Yeah.
very frustrating. One, I was starting to have some burnout. There was just a lot of work. I was at that 80-hour, 100-hour even,
Wow.
just for too much. Yeah. Two,
Only for you or for your workers as well?
just for me. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was really
Okay.
killing myself for a while there. That was I maybe right. That was before I hired anybody. Actually, that's when it was the
Yeah.
worst. And um, then the other thing, this isn't the same as government regulations, but they changed the format of the test kind of unexpectedly. And so I felt very frustrated because I'd spent so much time building a curriculum, building blog articles and content. And then they made
Hmm.
these huge changes so that, that's something everyone in business has to go through. But since I wasn't thinking of myself as a business person, it was very
Yes.
frustrating. And since then, we've kind of settled in just kind of into a more stable place where we're teaching the SAT, we're teaching the ACT. So we kind of have two different tests we cover. And yeah, that's about where we are, if that makes any sense. I should say we've also got, our website. That's one of our major assets, in my opinion. We're almost up to 300 blog articles,
Yeah.
get traffic around the world. And I've also had experience writing some textbooks for these tests and making
Hmm.
some video courses. So that's kind of where we stand.
Okay. And um, if I can read some of your email out loud.
Sure.
Um, so you said, "Hi Deco, maybe you can help me get our company out of this rut." You created it at 2011,
Mm-hmm.
and your specialty is high-end tutoring.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that you have 1 to 2 employees right now.
Right. Just one at the moment, but I've
Yeah.
gone
Okay.
at certain points. I've had up to 3, so we're constantly trying to get a little more people on board. But
Yeah, and right now you say that at this size you struggle to make ends meet with the rent and payrolls.
yeah,
Uh,
I should say also this business is much more seasonal than I realized for a long time. It took me quite a while to
yeah,
realize the ebb and flow, and I'm sure every business, every industry has that. But I think this is the time of year every year when I'm kind of panicking
okay,
because we're about to be into our busy season. It starts
okay,
like now and it goes almost all the way through summer to like October. And then November, December, January, February, March, April, it can just be slow. And so right around here, we're always kind of running out of cash. And, I hate that feeling.
I got you. Okay, so this is specifically, okay, now now I understand this point, because another question that rises from this is how much work do you have when you do have business?
Right. There's a big disparity, and I've got a few thoughts on this. But when we are busy, there can be several weeks in a row where we have to turn down appointments.
Okay.
It's not very often, but it does happen right around crunch time for the test. And then, so picture this: some weeks we'll have. Let me do some math real quick. Some weeks we'll have, 40, almost 50 students coming to the office in a week.
Okay.
That's pretty busy for us. That's very busy, I would say. And then at the opposite end of the year, we'd be lucky to see 10 students in a week. So, going between 100% capacity and then down to 20% capacity. And one other thing I want to say about that is how I've handled that so that I have, work for my employee or employees to be doing. That's often when I have them do some extra work creating content for the blog, thinking that, we'll use that traffic, in 3 to 6 months, we'll get the benefits of that.
Okay, good. So when you have that period of low amount of business, do you just specifically send them to create content? Because, it depends on how much content and how do you use that content, but also...
by the way, I'll tell you right now, just so you know, say anything you want in this interview. You're not going to hurt my feelings or anything like that. If you tell me I'm doing something really stupid, I'll probably thank you for it. So don't worry about anything.
No. It's not that it's something stupid. I wonder what do you do with the rest of the time? Because I've prepared some stuff that I think that you can do based on the stuff that you sent me, but we'll get to that. Let's start with basically understanding
what else we spend our time on, you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm a little embarrassed to say, I've always felt bad about this. My employee at those parts of the year, he often will not be working a full 40-hour work week.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to that. I've essentially promised him that point will come, and will come fairly soon. But has not yet gotten to that point. In fact, if I'm totally honest, he was probably busier 3 years ago than he has been these last 12 months. So I guess let me describe my employee's work week to you to give you a picture.
Yes, okay.
Monday through Wednesday, he is available for one-on-one tutoring appointments starting after school ends and going till 9 p.m. So Monday through Wednesday, he is available to show up at the office for scheduled appointments. They're 90 minutes each, these one-on-ones. And he might have 3 of them in a day. He might have just 1. So depending on how busy the week is, he might be coming in for 1 lesson just to the office, which I feel bad about. I don't think that's ideal at all for anyone. And then other days, a busy day, he'll come in for 3 and he'll teach and go home. Then Thursday, Friday, he takes off. Those are his days off. Saturday and Sunday are the money days in this business because the kids are off from school. That's when the parents have time to drive them around. So Saturday, he comes in at 8 in the morning, 8:30 in the morning, and he proctors a test. So he proctors and he does all the timing for basically a full SAT, ACT every Saturday. And those are something we give free of charge to anyone who's a paying customer. It's kind of like a value add. You say, all right, you come in, you can take a test every Saturday that you want. He'll do that till about 1 p.m. Then he'll kind of clean the office real quick, just kind of small little things. And from there, he'll go into usually a small group class, and then either another small group class or a little bit more one-on-one tutoring. And then Sunday, it's basically the same deal, except there's no practice test, so it's just classes and tutoring.
Okay.
And then besides that, the other thing I had to say was when he's at home, he can work from home to do around 10 hours of work per week. That's online. He does my social media. He does basically vocab. He does posts, shares our blog articles, shares vocab words, and he does Twitter and Facebook. And he also writes blog articles at the rate about maybe 1 per week publishes a new blog article. So that's what he's doing that'd be about 30 to 35 hours.
Okay, so yeah, that sounds like it's mostly full time.
It gets close, but it's not consistent, and he's right to complain to me that he needs to keep getting more money each year. That seems fair to both of us. He's a very good worker, I should say. He's human, like all of us, but he's got a great record for attendance and being on time and showing up early, and he's definitely a good worker. He's been with me for almost 4 years now.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
So he's loyal. Okay, so aside from him teaching, let's say that you have that 50 students a week now.
Right.
Who handles all this workload? Oh, okay.
Me. If I haven't said that yet, I am definitely working in my business all the time.
Okay.
Obviously not ideal. It's I was the original tutor, and a lot of people still know me by name. That's obviously not the perfect solution here. But I basically, I know I should not be doing it this way, but I teach at the exact same rate as my employee.
Yeah.
I have more availability than he does, and I am also booked more often than he is. I just get, maybe 25% more students than he does. The customers are free to choose right now. They purchase a lesson package.
Yes.
This is all set up on our website. It's automated. I lead them through. I send them the links, and they learn how to schedule themselves, to purchase themselves, and they'll buy 4 lessons, 8 lessons, even up to 16 lessons at a time, and then they just get to put them on the calendar, which whatever days, whatever tutor they want, they just get to schedule.
Okay. Okay, so that answers different question and suggestions that I have.
Yeah, I'm all over the place. But
No, that's good. So I see that you also said that 99% of your sales are local customers, and that you think that there's not enough business in your city.
Right, not to grow to the level I'd like to grow.
Okay. So there's two contradiction approaches here. First, you say that you're probably the 5th or 6th biggest player in the city. So that means that there are bigger players that are handling more workload than you. So
exactly.
You can probably grow in that direction. That means that there's probably enough business in the city, and you can also.
In other words, I'd have to beat some of my competitors, but it's possible.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you mean.
So that's one approach, and you can take it to the other direction, which is taking it to online courses, and instead of having a single student in a class, having like webinars and automated courses, which you don't need an actual tutor for, and stuff like that. So let's ask first of all about the first approach, which is, do you know your current competition? Do you know the bigger players?
Sure. Now I will say I don't look at them a lot. Okay. Maybe I should look at them more, maybe not. I've always kind of taken the let's kind of focus on what we're doing. But yeah, I mean, I can name them. On the national level, there's Princeton Review and there's Kaplan. So those are the players that, there's also Revolution Prep. These are, massive, million dollar companies. Those are going to take the first 3 slots probably easily. Then in terms of, in terms of local companies, there are 2 other local companies that tend to come up more than us, and that would be one is called More Than a Teacher. They've been in my city for a long time, and then there's Berkeley Academy.
Yeah.
So basically, those are like the 5 companies that right off my head, I'm like, I know they're bigger than us, and they're doing the same stuff as we are.
Okay. So basically, how are you different than them? How are they different? What are they doing better? What are they doing
how are we different? Right. So I'm not 100. Okay, how are we different? And I'm going to answer this differently to you than I would to a customer, because if a customer asked me that, I wouldn't hesitate. I would crush that question. But with you, let me think. Real honestly here. We have really good reviews and word of mouth. Like right off the bat, I'm going to say
Yeah.
that's one of the things that I think is special about us. I mean, I think another thing is we are very, very specialized. All those other companies I named are going to do other types of tutoring as well, whereas we've just purely been doing these two tests, this demographic of students. We've been doing that for, 7+ years. Right off the bat, I'm going to say, and those go together, right? Great reviews because we're extremely specialized and experienced. The third thing I might say, kind of the last point, is that I think we're thinking ahead to a level that some of the other companies might not be. I mean, like I daydream about virtual reality tutoring and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's not really quantifiable, but I do think we've got, a modern approach where some of these other tutoring companies are kind of in the last generation. But
Okay.
I really think the reviews are probably the number one thing I would say, because I just think tutoring is, in my experience, this is one of the hardest things about it, is that your parents are giving you their kids,
Yeah.
and if they don't trust you, then it's all bets are off. So the fact that we already have that trust is definitely a big asset for us. But yeah, I don't know in terms of how we're different. Besides that, the specialization and the positive reviews.
Okay, so you're saying those things, but what you mean is those are basically outcomes. What you're looking at in order to say to someone when they ask you that kind of question, what I get from your answer is that first of all, you give a high quality of service.
Yes.
Well, the reviews are translated into quality. That's what your goal is. You want to give a better product than the rest of them.
Okay, so we're kind of like a premium, or like that's sort of our approach is to be high quality, premium level.
Yeah, high quality, trustworthy. I wouldn't say modern. I would say adaptable, advanced,
Okay.
sort of kind of thing. But you need to incorporate all of that into your vision. What are you? I mean, why would they come to you and not to a different one? Why are you doing what you're doing? That's the real question. When
Okay, well, what I would say, and I'm not sure if I'm answering this in the right way, but it's getting me thinking. I mean, I think I can say that we're there because we love teaching. I mean, I don't know if that's kind of at all what you're talking about. We definitely love what we're doing, and I think, and that doesn't really answer what you're saying, but let me put it this way. One thing I realized a long time ago is that almost all of these big companies are hiring part-time tutors that do not stay in that position for more than a couple years.
Okay.
We are professionals. We've been doing this long term, and it's our full-time, career. And so I think that's definitely different. It's very unusual to have someone who intends to have like a career as a tutor in this field.
Okay.
Still don't know if that's answering your points at all.
That's a good thing. Okay, so what I think is when you say when you come to a customer and you try to introduce your service basically to them, what I think that you need to emphasize is that you need to show that you are the professional in that field, unlike the different. You don't even need to talk about the different companies. What you need to show is that you're a professional and that's what you do. That's your main thing. That's what you.
I agree.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something that prompted me to think? I don't want to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I was working on, like right before we called, kind of my newest project, sort of ties into, or really does tie into everything we're talking about, because before you and I ever interacted, this was kind of my next, okay, let me try this and see if this gets any results.
Yeah.
And what this plan is, we've got the reason we create the content, as I mentioned in my email, is to capture subscribers.
Yes.
And we've been doing that. We have days where we'll get 3, 5, email list subscribers, purely passive through our blog organic traffic.
Okay.
So what I'm thinking, but the problem is only maybe 5% of those subscribers are coming from our city. So the rest are, some of them are from, we've got subscribers in Pakistan, Russia, China, 49 states of the U.S., and so I'm thinking, how do we monetize that, right? And talking about what you're talking in terms of our expertise. So what I've been doing is writing a very detailed, basically I've been writing a 15-day email sequence in which what I'm trying to do is give away every single secret we know about the test. Like I'm just trying to give it for free. And I know it's a little bit strange, but that's basically my intention, is to show, look, you can tell we create this incredibly engaging and useful, hard-hitting info, and we're not trying to keep you in the dark. We're just showing you this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
And through that, my feeling, because this has always been my experience when I'm making sales in person, is that if I just tell them, you don't need me at all. You just need to do this, study this set of rules, look at these videos, and you will ace this test. You don't need me at all. You don't need to pay me anything.
Mm-hmm.
They're often like, how much can I pay you? How much can we sign up for? So it's this weird thing of the more we give away, and I think this is pretty normal.
Yes,
the more we give away of ourselves, the more they're like, please let us give you money to keep working with you. So that's what I'm trying now. I'm, halfway through. It's basically 15 major articles, and I'm trying to make them as compact as I can since they're going to email inboxes.
Yeah.
But that's, and then at the end, so I'm going to wrap this up. I'm rambling. But at the end of each email, there's just kind of this subtle reminder. And my thought is we're going to do a 15-day, one-time only, best price you can ever get on Skype tutoring with us.
Yeah. For
this 15 days of this course. And at the end, it basically says, if you like what you're seeing here, schedule a free 15-minute consultation through Skype. And in that's where I would usually make the sales and convert into an actual $1,000 package of tutoring.
Okay, that's good.
That's our current initiative. That's what we're kind of trying now.
And where do you stand on that?
First
of all, do you have a let's start with what's your conversion rate from your the current traffic into subscribers? Let's start with that.
Right.
The more people go into your funnel, the more people you can get through the funnel and into basically closing a deal. So,
I love that stuff. I don't know why, but I just love funnels. I love marketing funnels. So, they're just fun because I love that aspect. I'm a total nerd. So I love that aspect of okay, get more into the funnel. Well, really, that's the last step if we think about it. But, and you know this better than I do, but then it's that each stage you can see how you're doing if you're keeping stats. So I would say, I have stats on this. I haven't looked at them in a little while, but they were pretty consistent, around 2%. And we follow basically standard, it's actually more like 2.5 or even 3% conversion from blog traffic to subscribers. And so I set up that system probably 2 years ago, have not updated it, and it's just your traditional online marketing, pop-up with a freebie PDF download that's niched to whatever article they're on. So, we do SAT, we do ACT, we even do some college counseling articles. So if they land on a college counseling article, it'll say more tips about, how to get into college, download this PDF just for your email. So all that standard stuff. And that's around 3% conversion.
Okay, so you say that you have, let's call it 3%. So from this 3%, how does that divide into the major subject that you divided to? The SATs, the ACTs, and
Great question. The SAT is probably 60%, the ACT probably 35%, and the college counseling is really only about 5% or less.
Oh, okay. Okay, so...
And that also reflects our content distribution. We've done mostly SAT, a lot of ACT, and then just a little sprinkling of college stuff.
Okay, so that's good. That's in your major field. That's not like you're
Yeah.
getting traffic that's not, let's say, that's not your major business coming in and most of it distributing otherwise. Uh, okay, so when you have those subscribers right now, what are you doing with them right now? You said you have some automated.
I'm spamming them. I'm not doing anything useful with them. I'm wasting them. That's what I'm doing. I'm not turning them into money.
Okay.
What I'm doing is I'm sending them old emails. They're 2 years old. This email sequence I haven't updated, and all they do is it sends them to blog articles that are on our website. It's really weak in my opinion. And then at the very bottom, it's just got like contact us, schedule now, like no calls to action that are worth mentioning. Personally, I think our email autoresponder right now is essentially worthless. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
so I say, if it's 3% of your traffic, and you said you have about, where was it, 6 to 10K visitors?
Yeah, I'm doing a little bit of math here, but let me see if I still agree with what I was saying. I think I've got these. Yeah, somewhere I'm giving myself a little too much credit here. It might be the conversion rate for the emails, because I know we're doing like 6,000 to 8,000 is pretty normal for us monthly visitors, but I don't think I'm getting 180 subscribers a month.
Yeah, that's a lot. If you even take 10% of that, you're gonna make a lot of. Let's say you take 1% of that, you're gonna make a lot of money each month just from that online traffic. That's, let's say, 2 packages you get a month for your tutoring, which will cost how much you charge, which I'm not sure first.
Right.
Though, yeah, that's a lot of resources that you're currently not using.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's, especially in your field, from what I understand, it's very temporary. If you get someone to subscribe, it's not like they're subscribing because your content is very interesting to them, not to offend you or anything.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah, but it's because they want to get something.
Exactly.
Need, we've got a year, maybe at most, maybe an 18-month window to sell them something.
Yeah, they have their own goal. They want to get there. They're trying different things to get there, and subscribing to your content is part of it. So if you don't take advantage of it as soon as you get them in, basically I assume that most of your mailing list is currently, it's not useless, but it's not going to serve you in that for that purpose.
Yeah, it's not. I agree. You're exactly right.
So in terms of first actions, I suggest that you start. First of all, create a funnel. Do you have a current funnel that is running?
So, well, I'm gonna say yes if they are in my city, and no if they are out of my city. And so let me give a tiny bit of detail about that. The ones in my city, like, we send them every Thursday an offer to do a free practice test in consultation with us at the office.
Okay.
So that, what tends to happen is they'll join our list. I can seed her from my city. And then once a week, we'll just get this low-key email that'll be like, hey, we still want to help you take this practice test. And I'm sure we could do much, much better with that funnel. But my point is, a lot of people will respond to that eventually when they're ready. Mm-hmm. And then, once they've come into our office, there's an extremely high % chance that they're going to buy from us.
Okay.
I don't have numbers, but I can just tell you it's almost as good as done once they've come in to see us. Mm-hmm. So the local funnel could be better, but it definitely is working. And
Okay.
then the online funnel for someone, say, let's say they're in California.
Okay.
Um, that's more what I'm trying to do right now with that thing I told you about how I'm redoing and giving away all the info. And my plan for the funnel there, since they can't come into our office, I'm hoping, and I don't know, but I'm hoping that if I get them into a Skype consultation, then that will be almost as good as getting them into the office. Basically, I'm trying to replicate our local funnel, which could be better, but is working, and I'm trying to replicate it somehow for these California, New York, wherever they are in the United States. And I think that 15-minute Skype consultation might be the way to go, but I just don't know yet.
Okay, but that's not really a funnel. That's like a drop
So what do you mean?
page. What you talking about is a drop page where they just leave their information, get understand what the consultation will include, like 15 minutes talk and stuff like that.
Okay.
But it ends there. When they sign up, they're waiting to get something from you and getting to know you, and that's it. If they want your business, they're gonna leave their details. If they won't, they'll just exit the page.
So are you talking about uh, like autoresponder emails, like follow-up emails?
No, what I'm talking about is I'm gonna draw something very basic here. Let's say that you have some people dropping in you have some people in your mailing list, let's say, and you send them into, you say, only this week you get this crazy deal. For let's say 50% off. I don't know actually what's your current numbers, but it doesn't really matter. Let's say that you send them to that. Now let's start off with a different. You can start with that. They're already in your mailing list, so you have their details. So whoever clicks on that and wanna know more will get to that page, and you have like a yes, thank you, and a no. And let's say that let's go with a very basic one. So payment and order. Let's say that the no okay. I've drawn some very basic funnel that you can. Let's see if we can see here.
Yeah. I can get to. Okay.
Okay.
So let's see.
Is it flipped correctly? Can you see it?
I
Or is it
think
backwards?
it's flipped backwards, unfortunately.
Okay, wait. I'll change the settings. Video. Okay. Let's see. Now you can see it.
Yeah. Okay. It's a little blurry, but if you tell me
Yeah,
what
I'm sorry about the.
It's no worries.
Wait, let me use that. Okay. So this is people.
Yeah.
So let's say that you send them the sequence, and you introduce them to the idea of the course that you're providing at around, let's say, the 5th or 6th email. They need to know that you offer that kind of services before they even consider taking you up on that offer. Okay? Like, they need to know that this is something that you provide, not necessarily offering them to take that course, but just to know that this is something that you do. And later on, let's say at the 10th, you start to introduce them with links to that funnel. This is the first drop page. Okay. So here you say just for this week you get so you start, let's say, at the 10th day, like the last day of your email sequence will be the last day of the deal, and it should be actually time limit. There should be a time limit on this. You can't just say this is only for this week and then say fine after 2 weeks that they come by and they get that deal. No, it should
I
have
want the one time only.
Exactly.
Best ever. It'll, and just for numbers, it'll probably be, and I'm open to your thoughts, but I mean, probably 30% is the most discount we could ever do.
Yeah. Okay.
Without starting to compromise a lot of profitability, basically.
Okay.
20%. Yeah. So
let's say that it's. Let's say that this is 30%. Okay.
Sure.
You give them the most you can with this one. So let's say that they decide to go with this. Great, they move to a payment page, and they get the order details and everything.
Cha-ching.
Good. You got, let's say that 1% of the people, even 0.1% goes into
Sure.
that. That's free money. Now let's say that they decide, no, I don't want the deal. That's too much for me. Okay. You're gonna have that kind of people. You're gonna have that kind of traffic. So what you want to do is you want to give them an opportunity to get an online course, like some of the stuff that you create. You say that you create content. So
the
you can create,
products.
exactly. You can create an online course that is you have classes at your place, right, at your office. So what you do is you record some sessions, some preparations.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah, you record your curriculum, and you have an online course that you send people for a lower cost. Let's say that this is $1,000. This is gonna cost them, let's say, $150. I don't know. I don't know what you charge for that, because this is not one-on-one. And also, this course doesn't require of you almost anything but the whole system to support that course. You need a website that supports membership and supports online videos and stuff like that.
Can I ask you, might be a dumb question, but would you think that it should be like a one-time sale or a subscription, or is that doesn't matter? That's really just irrelevant.
I think that this should be a one-time sale with access to that, because as we said,
I agree. By the way, I agree.
Yeah, your product is basically a one-time product that they need. After they got it, they're not gonna need it anymore. And if they do, you give them an online course that they can forever now access it, and it doesn't matter to you because it doesn't cost you anything more than the initial setup of this. So let's say that they want this, you send them to the payment page and order page with their receipt and everything. And let's say that this is even too much for them, then you send them to a third down sale.
So kind of like this $1,000, $1,000, $100, $10.
Exactly.
So no matter how much they want to spend, how much they have in their budget, we have something to sell them. And if they buy, so $1,000 up front. If they don't want that, then try to funnel them into the 100.
Yeah.
If they don't want that, then try to funnel into the 10. Kind
exactly.
of like getting this right.
Exactly.
Okay. I like
and
that.
you can also change the funnel in ways that, let's say, that they chose the online course, so you can send them you can even upsell from there. You can even, let's say that they took that course, and after this, before the payment, you say, wait, you want a one-time offer of a free, not a free, sorry, but an online one-on-one session
Yeah.
with me
Yeah.
for lower cost of, let's say, $50. I don't know how much do you charge, but you
But
give
some
them
kind of discount.
yeah, exactly. And if they want to take that, great. You move them to the payment and add that to the payment, or you can, or they say no, thank you, just get me to the checkout, and they just pay for their online course.
So
So
you're suggesting, and I like this. You could try upselling during the payment for like the online course. You could try one more time. Like, here's a last discount if you want the expensive package.
no, not the expensive package, but like
Oh,
a
like
one session with a private tutor for 1.5 hours or 3 hours. I don't know how much.
I see. No, that makes perfect sense. Could still maybe get like we know they're not going to spend probably $1,000, but maybe if they're going to spend $100, they might spend another $100.
Exactly. So then
Okay.
you can offer them that session after they've done the online course,
Yeah.
and you can strengthen any kind of subject that they didn't understand perfectly,
Yeah.
and they can ask questions and have all of this help
Yeah.
at the end of their session. So they can use
Yeah,
that.
you know, once we've sold them one or two lessons, the chances of them buying another four, in my experience, they go way up. I mean, that's a very common phenomenon for us. I really like how much insight you're giving me here, and what I really like also is that, like, the question I kind of want to ask. This is gonna sound weird,
Yeah.
but if I do all this, do you believe that it will work?
Yes. Of course.
Okay. Okay. Me too. Me too. I'm just afraid I've got this, after all the work I've put in where it hasn't taken off.
Yeah.
I know that's been me learning all these mistakes, learning all these lessons, and now you and I have a very similar picture of where it needs to go, I think. And I guess it's just, I believe in it, and it's nice to hear someone else say that they believe that that would make sense to do it.
Exactly. This is basically a sales funnel is what every online business uses.
Yeah.
And upsales and downsales and all sorts of stuff are just tools that you use to give your customer a different product, in their sale process. Let's call it that they might have not thought of it. But what you're not trying to do is you're not abusing your customer. You don't just push stuff and try to shove down their throat stuff that is not even related to what they're taking. Okay, so
Yeah.
you gotta focus on the stuff that you're actually selling and to think about what can I give you more in that process to help you with the lower cost. Okay, because if they didn't want the big bundle or the big sale, they're probably not going to buy a big thing if you go for an upsell from the book. They're not gonna go for a $1,000 product now. You can only offer them another small thing. Okay, for the online course you can maybe offer that extra lesson, but not more than that. Okay, so
I see. That's brilliant, man. I wouldn't have thought of that. Yeah, I just would be much more clumsy about it. You know, I would be like, "Oh, you bought my book? Maybe you want $1,000 of tutoring." Like, I see what you mean.
You can get back to them afterwards. You can try to have a different. We'll not call it a funnel, but we'll call it basically a correspondence with your automated email list. So you can have different lists for people that purchased your bundle and people that purchased your book. Maybe afterwards you can offer them in a month from now, in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you can offer them a different product that is on a similar level. Maybe one level,
higher.
one level above, but not to jump way up, because
Yeah,
if they wanted that, they would go straight to that in your website.
you're right. Yeah, you're right.
So that is something that you should pay attention to. Um, Also, what you can use is referrals. If you have
Hmm.
if you have people that are taking your lessons online, they probably have friends. They probably have friends in the same area that are going to need your services too. So
Okay, let me tell you about our referral program that we've been doing, and this
yeah,
works very well, I would say, within our city. And it's
okay.
very simple. It's very simple. It's just if you refer a friend or family member, including a sibling,
Mm-hmm.
if they sign up for a package of at least 4 lessons, then they get a free lesson, and the family who referred them gets a free lesson.
Okay, so
So,
for the online business, what you can do is um, give them like a free lesson if they take
yeah,
the
yeah,
online course. Or I suggest you should yeah, you can push the premium package, but the online package, the online course is also something that should be in your more in front of your face, more at the front, because this is something that you create once and then you keep pushing it and you keep pushing it, and it
yeah,
just generates money if the groundwork, if your framework is over there and is working. You don't need to do much but get more people into the funnel and they
right,
will do the rest for you.
right.
Like,
One of my major inspirations, before we had talked, there was a guy who does he did English as a he did English tutoring, maybe in Japan or somewhere, and he had a website, and he's basically describing this phenomenon where at first he was struggling to make ends meet teaching one-on-one lessons. He started developing a course, autoresponder. Then he started doing YouTube videos to funnel into his autoresponder, and now it sounds like he's doing close to 7 figures a year with mostly passive,
yeah,
and that's a dream for me. That would be awesome. So
yeah. So that should be a goal, and that's what you should focus on. You should focus on creating your online course, your online product, even way better than what you provide as a service,
yeah,
because this is gonna pay dividends in the long run. You can
yeah.
only do
Now,
so much when you do the tutoring yourself.
yeah, for sure. The biggest downside, and I think this will probably resonate, in a lot of ways with other industries even, is just the fact that the curriculum can change unexpectedly year to year. I mean, what are you going to do? Everything's got to be updated. So it's like that's part of life. I guess one thing I would say now that I'm thinking is I should just try to make the lessons as timeless as possible and know that they're going to need occasional refreshing. Maybe I'm even just thinking it could be through supplemental videos instead of redoing the whole course.
Exactly.
Be like, all right, here's the
You can section it into different
yeah.
parts and
Okay, so the more modular, the
play
better.
with it.
So that,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you can build that, and you can also. Um, it depends. I'm not sure about how the SATs and SCTs format is, but if you can make it very timeless, so that's good, and you can have another. No, I'm not. I thought about having another product that is constantly updating and changing, but
Yeah.
that won't be good to separate this from the product that they're buying. Okay, because you don't want to sell them. Here's this. This is the online course that will teach you everything you need to know for the SAT, and then sell them. Here's another product that will give you the updated version.
Yeah.
That won't be good. That won't be acceptable. And
Well, because they're counting on us to be up to date.
exactly,
They want us to know the current test as the experts.
exactly. So also another thing that I thought of that you can do is you can start with a. It depends when you do it, but let's say with the you say that you have 50 students weeks, 50 students a week in the following months, and you need to tell people no. So you shouldn't tell them no. You should maybe move most of your current students to your worker, okay, for him to do most of the work, and you're gonna do just 1 or 2 lessons, and then push people into the online course. Okay,
Yeah.
so you do 1 or 2 physical sessions, like in the office, after they have the online course, and send people more to the online course, and this be as a supplement for the online. Even though they're from your area, you can reduce your workload, send more people to your course that is already made, and have 1 or 2 sessions afterwards for the people at your office.
Yeah, and it's conversations like these that always sort of remind me. And if anyone's watching this, months after we've talked about it, and I hope they are, but just to say that whenever I've made passive income, like pure passive, you're sleeping and you get a sale that you don't have to deliver anything, it's already drop shipped or whatever, that money, I've actually put a figure on it in my head, is worth 6 to 10 times more than the equivalent money if you have to deliver it. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. It's just like, if I get a $10 sale, I did not have to do anything for it, feels like $100 to me. Because it's just, someone just handed you money for nothing. It's like, best deal.
You do the work first, and then you just get paid dividends over that work. So this is why I say that you should focus on that, and even push your people from your local customers into that course, and have the private lessons as a premium service, and not as your main service. You understand? In order to save more of your time and your work time.
Yeah.
And have more.
Well, that also makes me want. If we kind of did all of this ecosystem that we're describing, how it all fits together, there would be a great opportunity to raise prices somewhat on our premium services. And one conversation I had about a year ago with a guy who was he acted like he might want to buy my company, and I was naive enough to think, oh, he really wants to buy my tutoring company. But he came back. He was very helpful, and he came back and said what he thought I should do, which could fit into all of this on some level, would be to make myself have a founder's rate, and basically that would be double the price of my employee, and just be like, look, you want to work with me, it's going to cost you $200 an hour or whatever. But I have an extremely experienced tutor who we both, I've coached him myself, and he gets great reviews, and he's much more affordable. Oh, you can't do that? Well, here's an online course. Anyway, so that could be a way to get myself out of the business a little more, maybe.
Yeah, so that's the question of what you want, what your goal is. If you want to work less and you don't want the 80 hours week work days, 80 hours.
And it's not like that. It's not like that anymore. It was for a good. Whew, man, that was awful. But now it's much more laid back. I could actually work much harder, and I feel bad about that sometimes.
Yeah, so the fact that you telling customers no is a very big downside for you, because right now you don't have a solution for them, and you have all of this. The same with your current traffic to your blog and your website. It just goes to waste, and it's money that you're basically could have made, but you're not making right now. So this is the first thing that I think you should tackle. You should have the funnel ready and the course ready. You should work on the course first, I think, even before you have your funnel, in order to have that ready and to have it online on your website. And you might even get traffic into it. You might even get profits from it without even advertising it, because people are usually browsing and clicking stuff, and they will get there on their own, and they might get there even without you pushing them over to there. So,
I agree.
So that, in my opinion, that should be your first goal.
Okay. Go after the course. We're basically talking a premium video course, the very best quality curriculum we can develop. You know, yeah, I think we're saying the same thing, but probably a video course, right? And then I would probably take all that content, transcribe it, and edit it into an ebook. I mean, I would probably just do that at the same time, because why
Exactly.
not? And, you know, in fact, I'm just thinking, not that it matters, but what I could do is in the ebook or the PDF, I could do more like practice exercises. And so I think that could work really nicely together. You know, I'm getting ahead of myself here, but online course with video, $150, complete curriculum, complemented by maybe a series of small textbooks that niche down with practice problems, and those are $8 to $10 to $12.
Yeah.
Maybe something like that, you know.
Yeah, that you should go for. And you might even want to, even for the online course, you should have some kind of a preview, something that you show in. Here's a skit from the online course that you can see, and they can see the quality of it, because yes, people will buy that even without it, but when they can see what they're getting, it's even better.
Yeah.
And it's more complicated when it's online info kind of product. So you should have that.
Yeah.
You should have that ready and at a pretty high quality. You don't want to push stuff and then cancel orders.
Yeah, and you know, something we've always done since the very beginning with all our stuff is guarantee it with 100% money back.
Yeah.
If for any reason you're not satisfied, you know, we'll take care of you. And we've always done that, and probably can just continue to do that.
Especially with information products, you already created a course. You already have everything ready. It doesn't cost you anything to give it back if someone is unsatisfied, but you should first make sure that you understand why, and maybe you can improve it. So that's an important part of that.
Good point. Yeah.
Now let's get back for a second to the first point, which is your current status that you're not making ends meet. I mean, this whole thing that we've talked about is something that you should take and start working on right now, but it will probably pay off only in a month or so. It will take some time, and especially that you're gonna have a busy time right now. You're gonna have a month now until you start to work very hard and have a lot of people.
Yeah, it's gonna start to get busy.
Yeah, so it's gonna take time. That will also be a good time to start filming. I think you should do it when you have actual people coming in for the classes, and not just prepare it up front, because then you have more realistic questions and more people asking questions that are relevant for your course.
Okay.
And
so just this is almost like a legal question. I don't even know, but you know, I've actually thought about that before, and the only thing I'm worried about is like using my students in materials, because you know probably they're minors, they're under 18, and so I don't know. I'd have to do the research myself.
No, so you don't film yourself. Is it one-on-ones or is it classes with a board?
Well, so in this case, it would be easiest since I'm only teaching one-on-ones right now, and my employees doing the group classes. You know, we could arrange it. I could take the group classes for a time period and film it then. But
or
most
you can
of my
film your employee if he's fine with being filmed.
He's not.
Okay.
He's really shy. He's really shy about stuff like that.
Okay, so you should.
It would have to be me. Yeah, because I don't care if I'm on film. So, but he does.
So you should do that. Okay, so you should have the group classes and have it on the board, and then you just film yourself on the board, and not the class themselves.
It's just their voices, but not their faces.
Exactly. So that way you don't have any problems with legality of their being in the video, because they're basically not.
Yeah, I like that.
So let's get to the first point, which is how right now are you not making ends meet if you're is it just this period or is it even when you have the 50 students a week?
No, no,
'Cause-
no. I should no. Let me clarify that then. Yeah, that I think I've led you slightly in a misleading direction. What I mean is, it's hard for me to make enough money to save and grow. We make ends meet in that. I mean, I've been living in the same place for 5 years. We've been renting our office for 4 years. Our landlords like us. It's not like it's not like we're gonna be out on the street. It's just that I don't feel like I'm getting ahead. I feel like I do all this work and I love doing my job and I'm not complaining really. It's like, when do I start seeing some real financial results?
Yeah.
My dream is to be very financially successful. I don't even think it's going to come from this business. I think this is kind of like my training.
Okay.
And I'm sticking with it as long as it takes to get the level I'm envisioning.
Yeah.
After which I've been thinking for a long time I might just start an unrelated business with what I've learned.
Okay.
But I guess my point is I've never expected this business to get me into a yacht, but it's not like, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
It's not like, it's just there's too many months where I'm like, oh man, payroll is going to be close this time. So it's more like that.
Okay.
When we have our busy months, I can save, but I just haven't been smart and wise enough to realize how much it will crash in the slow months. And so there's this constant like, oh, we're doing good. Oh crap, there's no business. Oh God, we're almost out of money. And then I start like praying. And then right when I'm at the end of my rope, it's like, okay, we get a little bit of business. Okay, it's coming back. And then I start to be like, oh, times are good again. And then it's like, nope.
So especially in the seasonal kind of business, you have to take your revenue as a yearly revenue. Okay, you gotta consider it and actually treat it as a year revenue spread out as an average per month, and that's your per month revenue. You can't treat the busy month as I got so much money, I'm gonna use it.
But dude, you got to picture I was like a kid with no business training at all. So my logic was just like, oh, we're growing. Like, oh, my best month is how much I make.
Okay.
That was my stupid reasoning. I was like, oh, the best month is how much I'm worth. It was just a very dumb and egotistical mindset, and it's taken me until now to realize how foolish that is. But you got to think how much income is going to come in.
Yeah, and you gotta use that time period and spread your expenses and your money throughout the year. And I suggest that the rest of it you use to create all of that stuff that we talked about. If you're not doing it yourself, basically. So
I see.
you should invest back into your business until you can basically take more money out, and you shouldn't raise your salary first and before you actually grow the business. That's how usually businesses crash.
Yeah. Well, and the good news, I will say, for myself, as I've realized and kind of become a little more mature, I've gotten much thriftier just in my entire life. But again, this has sort of been my, not to go off track, but I didn't get very great lessons in finance from my family or my schooling, so it's kind of just been this like getting pinballed back and forth until I just learn my stupid lessons. So yeah, anyone who's watching, if you're thinking about starting a business, the budgeting is like, you gotta stay thrifty and don't assume if you're making money now, you're gonna be making money in a week, because you might not be.
Yeah. Especially in a seasonal kind of business.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, picture running like a ski mountain or something. That's what I think about. Is like, what if you were in charge of a ski resort and it just was open for 5 months out of the year?
Yeah. Um, okay, so just to summarize this whole thing, so
Sure.
what you talked about was what your struggle is right now that most of your business is local and you don't have enough business, and you wanted to
Yes.
take it more online.
Yes.
And currently your traffic is doing nothing.
Yeah. Just going nowhere.
Exactly. And you're not making enough money, so you
Right.
can either increase your margin or increase your business. And your margin means that you need to raise prices,
Yeah.
which might not be. I'm
Might
not
not
sure.
go over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can use the traffic and you should create a basic funnel, starting with the basic online course, which will be the basis. Even though you have the like your major money making machine, let's call it, is your premium service, which is the
Right.
tutoring. You should have your thing that keeps you going, which is the online course, is what gonna keep you going throughout the year, I think,
Hmm.
because it's online and it doesn't require you after the initial investment in it. It won't
Right.
require anything, so you should focus on getting the online course up as soon as you can.
Okay. I
Um,
will. Yeah.
and afterwards, create a funnel around it. Okay,
Okay.
the funnel will start with the. It might not start with the premium. Actually, you need to do some testing around it, because if we talked about this funnel,
Uh-huh.
um, what you can actually start with is, let's say, start with the online course. Maybe you'll start
Yeah.
getting people
Yeah.
here, and
Yeah.
then maybe upsell it over here or
Yeah.
downsell it over here. But maybe
Yeah.
this should be your main goal. I'm not sure yet. You should test it with different funnels
Yeah.
that you point
I
people.
think I can test it pretty easily because how I'm envisioning the funnel is basically what I talked about with, or not the funnel, but my autoresponder is going to be those 15 days of just really all the value we can give. And I think it's relatively easy for me to swap out the calls to action.
Yeah,
I could just keep the same content and be like, by the way, here's the call to action. So I could test that.
exactly. So after you have the online course and the funnel ready, you should change your autoresponder to include all of those steps and pushing into the funnel more traffic. And
Okay.
after that, after you get that done, you should do uh, more autoresponder traffic into a different funnel according to whatever they purchased the first time. Okay, different funnels for different
Back
products.
end, back end funnels.
Yeah, exactly. Afterwards, after they got the initial product, maybe you can help them with a different product, with one of the
Yeah.
others if they haven't purchased them. So you can push
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
into that funnel.
And then after all that is done, I might start trying to get more traffic into the front of all that. Right?
Exactly.
That's there's so much to do before we need any more traffic because everything's just leaking out in every direction right now.
Exactly. You have plenty traffic right now coming in, but you're not doing anything with it.
Yeah.
So increasing
Okay.
the traffic, increasing your business is not gonna do anything. You're not
Yeah.
using it. You gotta
Yeah.
start using the things that you have, especially because they're so time limited.
Yeah.
So that's about it. Thank
Yeah,
you
that's
for
awesome, man.
coming.
I'm getting really excited now.
Yeah,
So,
so I'll check up with you in around, I don't know, 2 weeks. Keep me updated throughout the time, and we'll see how you advance.
Awesome, man.
Okay, so
It's-
thank you for
Well,
coming.
Pekko, thank you so much for your time. That was really valuable for me. And anyone watching, listen to this guy. He knows what he's talking about. And yeah, man, I would love to talk again in the future. So I'll let you know how it's going. And if you feel like dropping a line, I would definitely look forward to it.
Thank you guys for watching this video. If you have any more suggestions for Christian, please leave them in the comment section below. If you think I'm creating good content, please leave a like and subscribe so I'll know that and I'll continue doing that. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.